Without further ado, I present to you our first speaker of today, Republican candidate for governor, Doug Ducey. Doug was born and raised in Toledo, Ohio, and came to Arizona in 1982 to attend ASU, where he worked his way through college at Hensley & Co. After a stint at Procter & Gamble, Doug helped launch Cold Stone Creamery on its path to success. Alarmed by the state of the economy and the massive spending and debt the government has incurred, Doug decided to make a positive difference by seeking public office, and in 2010 was elected Arizona's 32nd treasurer. In 2012, he led the opposition effort for Prop 204, which lost by nearly 2-to-1 margin, after Ducey pointed out that it was essentially a blank check with no reform or oversight. A proven coalition builder, he assembled successful efforts to block Prop 204. His Twitter tag is @DougDucey. Tweet at him today. My question for Doug today is, regarding K-12 education, as well as higher education, like public universities at ASU, what kind of funding do you propose in the coming years? Will it be more or less than your predecessor? And how will your education proposals impact tuition rates and the quality of education for students here today? You have 10 minutes, Doug.
Great to be back on campus. My name's Doug Ducey, and I'm the only Sun Devil running for office. I'm going to answer that question, but it's not going to take me 10 minutes to answer it. So I just want to start out by saying it's 1 week until Election Day. We're very proud of the campaign that we've run so far. We've built the broadest coalition of any candidate that's out there. We've been endorsed from everyone from U.S. Senator John Kyle to sitting state legislator, Democrat Catherine Miranda, and Democrat Lydia Hernandez, with everyone in between, from the Arizona Chamber of Commerce and Industry to the National Federation of Independent Businesses. And that's the kind of campaign that we're running. I'm running to be governor of all the people, and much of the support has surprised me because, as our moderator mentioned, I don't come from any political background. I grew up in Toledo, Ohio. My dad was a cop. I'm very much a product of the Midwest and the working class. I want you to know, for full disclosure, because it's just a week until Election Day, that my first elected office was as homeroom representative in the 5th grade at Blessed Sacrament Grade School. And that was a brutal primary, but we got through it, okay? My junior year of high school, my folks split up, my mom moved out west, and I had a high school counselor that said school's affordable and there's a lot of opportunity. So I got in my Datsun B210 and drove from Toledo, Ohio to Tempe, Arizona, and stopped right there at Manzanita Dorm, which was the first place that I lived on campus. It's been an incredible adventure. I studied finance here at Arizona State University, worked my way through college at the local Anheuser-Busch distributorship, and began my career at Procter & Gamble. Then, along with a few others, we built an ice cream company called Cold Stone Creamery. Started small with a great product, grew Cold Stone to 1,440 ice cream stores, operating in all 50 states. We sold Cold Stone in 2007, and today it operates in 25 countries around the world. It's an American success story, and I'm proud that it started right here in Tempe, Arizona. So if anyone asks you what Doug Ducey's campaign is about in these closing days, I hope there's 2 things you'll tell them about. 1, it's about growth and job creation. I believe if Arizona stands for any one single idea, it's opportunity for all. And I would like to see your degrees be worth what you've paid for them, and you to be able to enter this economy to not only get a job, but to have a career path that will fulfill you and test the best of your energies and skills. And that's how I felt when I graduated here. There were numerous job opportunities, including Procter & Gamble. And our economy is way too slow right now. And now to answer your question, the other issue that animates my campaign is K-12 education. K-12 education is underperforming in Arizona. I'm curious, how many of you were born somewhere other than the state of Arizona? Okay, so I'll say thank you to the natives. How many of you attended high school here in Arizona? Wonderful. So our K-12 system in this state is underperforming, but this isn't specific only to Arizona. K-12 education is underperforming across the country. Anyone in this room that's my age or older grew up in an America that was #1 in the world in K-12 education. Fast forward 4 short decades later, and we're not on any country's top 10 list. As Americans, we should find this unacceptable, and as Arizonans, we have a duty to fix this. This is a state responsibility. It's not something we can blame our federal government for. The good news is we know how to educate a child here in the state of Arizona. We have 3 of the top 10 public high schools in the country in Arizona. More than any other state, no state has this bragging right. But there's a number of things we're doing wrong. Number one, for the past decade, we have put a decreasing percentage of state resources into classrooms year over year. So you can't blame Democrats for that, and you can't blame Republicans, because that's in both administrations. And you can't blame it on a downturn in the economy, because that was also in times that we're growing. So my opponent will say to you later tonight that we just need to spend more in K-12 education. And what I would say to you is we need to better spend the $10 billion we're already spending. And that's $10 billion to educate just over 1 million school children in the state of Arizona. That's $9,300 per pupil. I want to see us have higher expectations inside our schools. I want to see our teachers be rewarded, respected, and retained. And I want to see every available dollar supporting teachers teaching and students learning. But there's one thing we know will make the biggest difference in K-12 education, and that's a focus on literacy. If we can have children learning by the time they finish 3rd grade, the results are astounding. 88% of our current dropouts are children that were passed from the 3rd grade to the 4th grade before they could read. And to show you what consequence that gives to our state and the strain on public policy, 70% of our prison population cannot speak at the 4th grade level. So in the Ducey administration, I'll wake up every day and focus on our economy, because I want to see jobs turning into fulfilling careers, and I'll focus on our K-12 education system. There's nothing more important that we can do to have a better quality of life in the state of Arizona than to have children who are becoming adults walk across stages dressed in cap and gowns that are prepared with skills to have success in life. So we'll pay attention to this, and this is something we'll measure ourselves against other states, and there's no reason that Arizona can't lead the nation in improvements of K-12 education by better spending of our already $10 billion in this category. Thanks for having me here tonight. Go Devils!